Advanced Physiology for third semester medical students. Reproductive System Physiology, covering mechanisms, functions, and the interactions between various components involved in human reproduction. The reproductive system is responsible for producing offspring and regulating processes related to reproduction, from gamete development to pregnancy. Reproductive System Physiology. The human reproductive system involves two main aspects: sexual reproduction, which produces gametes, sperm in men and eggs in women, and pregnancy and childbirth, which involves the development of the embryo until the baby is born. This system is influenced by hormonal factors and anatomy that work together to ensure reproductive success. 1. Male reproductive system. A. Male reproductive organs. Testes. The testes are the primary organs in the male reproductive system that produce spermatozoa, sperm, and the hormone testosterone. Sperm is produced in the seminiferous tubules within the testes. Epididymis. The epididymis is where sperm are stored and mature after being produced in the testes. Sperm is then transported via the vas deferens for further movement. Vas deferens, a duct that transports sperm from the epididymis to the urethra. Along the way, sperm is mixed with fluids from the seminal vesicles and prostate to form semen. Seminal vesicles. These glands produce fluid that nourishes sperm and facilitates sperm motility. Prostate gland. The prostate produces fluid that helps dissolve semen and activates sperm for fertilization. Urethra. The duct that expels both urine and semen from the body through the penis. Penis. The external organ that delivers semen into the female reproductive tract during sexual intercourse. B. Spermatogenesis process. Spermatogenesis is the process of sperm formation that occurs in the testes. This process involves several stages, starting with spermatogonia, stem cells for sperm, which develop into primary spermatocytes, then secondary spermatocytes, and finally mature spermatids that become sperm. Hormones involved. Testosterone, the main hormone produced by the testes, which regulates sperm production and the development of male secondary sexual characteristics, such as facial hair, deeper voice, and increased muscle mass. Luteinizing hormone, LH, and follicle-stimulating hormone, FSH, these are produced by the pituitary gland and regulate testosterone production as well as sperm cell development. Inhibin, produced by Sertoli cells in the testes, inhibin regulates FSH levels. C. Ejaculation and semen formation. After sperm matures and moves through the male reproductive tract, it mixes with fluids from the seminal vesicles, prostate, and bulbourethral glands to form semen. Ejaculation is triggered by sexual stimulation. causing contractions in smooth muscle that expels semen through the urethra and penis. 2. Female reproductive system. A. Female reproductive organs, ovaries. The primary organs in the female reproductive system that produce eggs, ova, and the hormones estrogen and progesterone. The ovaries have two main functions: gametogenesis, egg production, and hormone secretion that regulates the menstrual cycle. Fallopian tubes, ducts that connect the ovaries to the uterus. Fertilization typically occurs here, where the sperm meets the egg. Uterus, womb, the organ where the embryo develops during pregnancy. The uterus is lined with the endometrium, where the embryo attaches if fertilization occurs. Cervix. The lower part of the uterus that connects the uterus to the vagina. The cervix produces mucus that either facilitates or blocks sperm passage, depending on the phase of the menstrual cycle. Vagina. A canal that connects the cervix to the outside world. The vagina functions as the site for sperm deposition during intercourse and as the birth canal during delivery. B. Oogenesis. Oogenesis is the process of egg formation. Unlike spermatogenesis, which occurs continuously in males, oogenesis begins during fetal development and continues during a woman's reproductive years. With a limited number of eggs maturing each month. Oogenesis process. Oogenesis starts when primordial germ cells in the ovaries develop into oogonia and then into primary oocytes. Each menstrual cycle, one primary oocyte continues its development into a secondary oocyte, surrounded by granulosa cells forming a follicle. After ovulation, the secondary oocyte released from the ovary can be fertilized by sperm. If fertilization doesn't occur, the oocyte degenerates and is expelled along with the endometrial lining during menstruation. Hormones involved. Estrogen. Produced by the ovaries, it regulates follicle development and prepares the uterus for embryo implantation. Progesterone. Produced after ovulation by the corpus luteum. It stabilizes the endometrial lining to support a potential pregnancy. FSH and LH. FSH stimulates follicle maturation, while LH triggers ovulation, the release of the egg from the ovary. C. Menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle is a series of changes that occur in the female reproductive system, starting from menstruation, leading to ovulation, and ending with the luteal phase. Menstrual phase begins with menstruation, which marks the shedding of the endometrial lining when fertilization has not occurred. Follicular phase. Follicles containing eggs begin to develop under the influence of estrogen, ending with ovulation. Ovulation. The release of the egg from the ovary, triggered by an LH surge. Luteal phase. After ovulation, the corpus luteum forms and produces progesterone to maintain the endometrial lining. If no fertilization occurs, the corpus luteum degenerates, leading to a drop in progesterone and the onset of menstruation. 3. Fertilization and pregnancy. A. Fertilization. Fertilization is the process where sperm meets the egg and merges to form a zygote. This typically occurs in the fallopian tube. Once the sperm penetrates the zona pellucida around the egg, fertilization occurs, and the zygote begins to divide. Sperm and egg journey. Sperm ejaculated into the vagina swims through the cervix and uterus to reach the fallopian tube, where fertilization occurs. After fertilization, the zygote travels down the fallopian tube and implants in the endometrial lining of the uterus to begin embryo development. B. Pregnancy process. Pregnancy begins with the implantation of the fertilized zygote in the uterine wall, which then develops into an embryo. During pregnancy, the body produces hormones to support the developing embryo and maintain the pregnancy. Hormones involved: human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, produced by the embryo after implantation. It maintains the corpus luteum, which produces progesterone during the first trimester. Estrogen and progesterone, continuously produced to support the pregnancy, prevent further ovulation, and stabilize the uterus. Embryo and fetal development. After implantation, the embryo begins to develop and major organs form. During the second and third trimesters, the fetus continues to grow and prepare for birth. 4. Childbirth. Childbirth begins with uterine contractions, stimulated by the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin promotes uterine muscle contractions, which help push the baby through the cervix and vagina. Childbirth stages. Early labor. Contractions become stronger and more frequent, causing the cervix to dilate and prepare for delivery. Delivery. After full dilation of the cervix, the baby is delivered through the birth canal. Placental stage. After the baby is born, the placenta is expelled. Conclusion. The physiology of the reproductive system involves complex processes, from gamete production, sperm and egg, fertilization, pregnancy, to childbirth. Hormones play a central role in regulating these processes, with the endocrine system coordinating the menstrual cycle, ovulation, sperm production, and labor. The reproductive system works in harmony to produce offspring and ensure the survival of the species.